Alright, so guys, let's begin. So, last lecture we had discussed about functional interfaces and we covered that in a detailed manner. But we'll learn this more clearly only when project classes will happen, stream API and things like that. But now I'm going to take the concept of exception and exception handling in Java. We'll understand now what do you mean by exception and what is exception handling in Java. Fine. So let's try to understand this in a high level manner. Then programming point of view we will explore. So what do you mean by exception in layman terms? Exceptions and errors, they are different. Exceptions are unexpected events. For example, he's taking the class, he has kept his hand on the bench, suddenly that bench breaks. He never expected that. It is an unexpected event. Right? For him, it's an unexpected event. Just kept the hand and the desk, it breaks. Now, that is an unexpected event for him because he never thought that today morning at 10:11 a.m. Today morning at 10:11 a.m. this is going to happen, that he kept his hand on the desk and the desk will break. Correct? That's the meaning of what? Exception. So in our day-to-day life, lot of unexpected events we come across, like the phone calls that you get. These are all unexpected. Most of the phone calls that you get is unexpected only. Nobody says I'm going to give you a call at 11 a.m. and exactly 11. It's a rare thing that I'll call you tomorrow at 10 a.m. and you get a call. Whatever calls we receive, customer care people, marketing guys, they give a call. These are all unexpected calls. Or that projector that you see, suddenly it falls down. Unexpected event. Yeah, it's on your head only. So now understand, when I say exception, it is actually an unexpected event, and that unexpected event is causing a particular activity to continue further. The execution is getting stopped, right? Same way, at software level, in your programs, lot of exceptions might occur, which are unexpected events. In your programs, when an unexpected event occurs, your program will stop from executing. And that's what is called as exception. Correct? So when we are talking about exception, exceptions are unexpected events. Example, I'm using Excel file. While I'm putting the data in Excel, suddenly Excel crashes. And when it crashes, all the data that I was entering, I will lose that data. I will lose that particular what? Data. Correct? Same way. Now let's say you people are using WhatsApp. You're using WhatsApp and suddenly the screen freezes. WhatsApp screen freezes. And when WhatsApp screen freezes, you're not able to use the whole mobile itself. When Excel basically gets stuck, what if I'm not able to minimize Excel? I'm not able to close Excel forcefully. I'm not able to restart Excel because that Excel software has blocked my complete operating system from being used further. Complete system hangs. That's the meaning of exception. WhatsApp freezes the screen, or some app you install, you open that up, the app freezes and you're not able to go out of that window at all. Because of that app freezing now, the whole screen is stuck. Still, you cannot, use your mobile at all. Now that's the impact of exception. Correct, no? Now when this exception occurs, and if you do not handle it, then you have to restart the system. Like earlier Windows XP, when it used to hang, the only option is people would say restart the CPU. Correct? Or power off, power on. Then again do everything from the beginning, because that was a solution which we had it. If you look at earlier to that, again the problems were like this. But today it's not like this. If an exception occurs, you notice that in all modern softwares, they are handled very nicely. Why should I handle exception? Because if you don't handle, then your program execution will not continue further. The whole software is stuck. WhatsApp freezes, exception occurred. At least it should give me an option, forcefully quit. When I click on that, at least forcefully I'll quit WhatsApp so that I can use my mobile, I can make calls, I can send SMS. If Excel freezes, I can say restart Excel or close Excel forcefully. When I do that, at least I can use other features of my operating system nicely. Correct, no? This is where exception handling becomes so critical, so important. Whenever exception occurs, we should be in a position to handle that exception, and if you do not handle, your program execution would stop. Let's see this here. Exception. Now, exceptions are unexpected events. Exceptions will halt your program execution. Exception will occur when a bad user input is given. So when the exception occurs, when the bad user inputs are given. Example, let's take one very simple example to understand this. Let's take a very simple example to understand this, that how my program execution is halting when a bad user input is given. Like you go to the cash deposit machine, you are entering money, and in between one note was a fake note. That's a bad user input. Now what do you want that cash deposit machine to do? Should it stop, or it should now return all the money back and tell, please, this is detected as a fake note, keep it aside and deposit rest of the money? What do you want to do? You tell me. Huh? What you should do? It should return back, it should return back the fake note, and the rest of the money then it should tell continue further to deposit. But if you do not do that, then what will happen? What will happen? Tell me. It will just go ahead and stop the CDM machine itself. And if the CDM machine stops, the money will never get returned back. Are you understanding, guys? Now, see this here. We'll take a very simple example. Let's type here main. And then after we type here main, let me write int x is equal to 10, int y is equal to 0, and int z is equal to x divided by y. Now I know that I cannot divide a number by 0. And further, whatever code I am going to write, let's say welcome. You notice the program at line number 7 will stop. Are you understanding now? The program at line number 7 will stop because I have given a bad user input. You can never divide a number by 0. It's a bad user input. Now when I run this, right click, run as Java application. And now when you run, observe now, it is giving me an exception. It is giving me an exception. What is that? Division by 0. It is giving me an exception which is called as what? Division by 0. Is this part clear? Correct? Is it stopping at line 7? Is it continuing further and printing welcome? Because exception is thrown but not handled. There are 15 to 18 interview questions you will get from this topic. Though the place students have not mentioned it, for some reason they would have forgotten to mention. But how important this topic is, if you ask me, 15 to 18 interview questions you will get from this particular syllabus alone. That important this topic is. And these questions will go till the project level. Tell me what all exceptions you saw in the project, how you handled it, right? How exception handling was done in your project. Questions will go to that level. Got it, everyone? So this is very, very important thing. Fine. And very importantly, okay, everyone has to prepare handwritten notes. Otherwise, your understanding will not be better. Let's continue. Now observe here, I'm dividing a number by 0, an exception occurred. So next question arises, how do I handle this exception? So in order to handle the exception, guys, we will use here a try block, and then we will use here a catch block, right? We'll use here a try catch block in order to handle the exception. Is this clear, everyone? Yes, tell me, how will you handle the exception? Huh? How will you handle the exception? What is exception? 1 minute, wait. What is exception? Wait 1 minute. What is exception? Example. What is the previous example I took? What is the previous example I took just before this? I took one example. What is the example? हेल्प नहीं करना, हेल्प करोगे तो मतलब क्या, हम थोड़ी कॉलेज में बैठे, हम जॉब के लिए यहाँ पे है कि नहीं? अब इतने दूर से यहां तक आए हो तो जॉब लेना है हमें, करेक्ट? देखो, डिस्टर्ब करने वाले 100 लोग मिलेंगे, हमें अपने आप को कैसे संभाल के पढ़ाई करना ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. आई वॉज टेलिंग यू दिस वन थिंग वेरी क्लियरली. पीपल हु आर नॉलेजेबल, ओके. पीपल हैविंग नो नॉलेज, ओके. ये जो बीच वाले होते हैं ना, ये मुश्किल हो जाता है, तो उनसे एडवाइस कभी नहीं लेना है, वो आपका दिमाग खराब करेगा. फोकस क्यों नहीं है? आपको फोकस रहना है. देखिए, इट इज ऑल अबाउट योर करियर, योर जॉब, इजंट इट? Yes or no? And if you're not able to focus and you're not able to listen what I'm telling, such a lengthy course, how will you work on it? सोचिए, फिर जब किसी की जॉब लगेगी तब आप बैठ के पढ़ाई करोगे. Think about it. Please be very attentive. Okay? Don't waste even a single minute of yours. Right? So stay focused. See, this is a very serious journey. Don't take it lightly. जो पढ़ रहा है वो जॉब ले लेगा, जब कोई दूसरा जॉब लेगा ना तब हम बहुत हर्ट हो गए, एंड यू नॉट बी एबल टू डू एनीथिंग. गॉट इट? बहुत फोकस्ड रहना है. नाउ लिसन, in order to handle exception we use a try and a catch block. Now this try catch block works. So whatever code we write in a try block, whatever code we write in a try block, understand, this code, if any line throws an exception, example, something went wrong, something went wrong at line number 3, something went wrong at line number 3, and at line number 3 now an exception occurred. Now when an exception occurs at this line, which means there was some bad user input given, and because of the bad user input now an exception occurred at line number 3. Now once this exception occurred, what try block will do? This try block will automatically create an exception object. This try block will automatically create an exception object. Who will create exception object? The try block. When will the try block create exception object? Only when an exception occurs. Okay? Now since the exception has occurred here, imagine there is some lines of code after catch block and there are some lines of code that is after exception. Now exception has occurred here. If exception has occurred here, this line cannot run. Once the exception occurred here, it created exception object. Now to handle this exception, this object's address is given to catch block. What is given to catch block? So catch block is the one that suppresses the exception. But see here, exception occurred at this line. Object created. Object's address directly goes to catch block. This line will not run. But after the catch block handles that exception, after the catch block handles that exception now the further code that you have written after catch block, that will all continue to run. Otherwise, without try catch block, that code would not execute, that code would not run. Are you understanding, guys, everyone? See this here quickly, what we are now going to do here. I'll take this part of the code. I will now write try, control spacebar, enter, paste this here, and now what will happen? See this. Let's take this code. I will explain once again what will happen. Now, do you agree exception will occur at this line? Yes. When an exception occurs at this line, it will simply create one exception object, and that object's address, guys, I'm giving it to E. E is a reference variable of the type exception. Exception is a built-in class in Java, and E is a reference variable that holds this object's address. Exception object's address is given to what? E. Exception object's address is given to what? E. Now this catch block will suppress that particular exception. Once the exception is now suppressed, it will print welcome. Did you understand now? So try block is only throwing exception to catch, and catch is the one that is suppressing the exception. Once the exception is suppressed, line number 12 will now run. Did you understand this now? Everyone? Yes, please tell me what's happening here. Tell me what's happening at line 8. What's happening? Exception is occurring. When exception occurs at line 8, what is it doing? It's creating an exception object. Where is that object been given to? Catch block. What is catch block doing? Suppressing the exception. Once the exception is suppressed, what will happen? Got it? Now, let's try to run this and see. Earlier, it was not printing welcome. Save it. Run as Java application. Observe now. What is it printing? Did you understand now? What is it printing? Welcome. Now, further, if I print E, what is E holding? Exception object's address. But when I print E, it should actually print object's address, right? But this is a special class. It will not print object's address. Rather, it will print the message of exception. What is the message? What is the message? Arithmetic exception division by what? 0. Arithmetic exception division by what? 0. Is this clear, everyone, now? Yes. Int x is equal to 10. Int y is equal to 0. Now see, if I write anything at line 9, will this line number 9 run? No, because from line 8 control will go to which line? Exception line 8 पे अकर हो गया. अगर exception अकर हो गया तो कहां जाएगा ये? Catch block में. Catch block क्या करेगा? Suppress करेगा. Then what it will print? Welcome. Is this part clear? All of you? Yes? Okay. Now, when I run the program, it is just giving me message but not the line number. Imagine if I don't know the line number, then how do I go ahead and resolve that problem? I know exception is occurring. At least I can work on changing the logic a bit. So in future we don't get this exception. But then if I don't even know the line number, where is the exception? How do I find out where is the problem in my software? So rather what we do, we use here e dot print stack trace. We use here e dot print stack trace. Are you understanding? 1 minute. All right. Everyone clear with this part? Any doubts? Any doubts do you have? Tell me. Huh? Huh? What? अरे एक्सेप्शन अकर करने के लिए जानबूझ के कर रहा हो. एक होता है जानबूझ के एक्सीडेंट करना. अभी क्लासरूम पर्पस के लिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं? वी आर राइटिंग द कोड सच दैट इट विल थ्रो एन एक्सेप्शन. व्हेन यू डिवाइड अ नंबर बाय 0, इट्स थ्रोइंग एक्सेप्शन. अगर एक्सेप्शन थ्रो नहीं होगा तो हम कैच ब्लॉक कैसे काम कर रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं, पता नहीं चलेगा ना. करेक्ट. अभी मैं अगर ये कोड नहीं करूंगा तो एक्सेप्शन ही अकर नहीं होगा. If exception is not occurring, then how do I learn try catch? How is it working? तो हम जानबूझ के एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कर रहे. हमें सिर्फ वेलकम प्रिंट नहीं करना है. प्रोग्राम का मतलब ये नहीं है कि जस्ट प्रिंट वेलकम एंड डन, राइट. सो द प्रोग्राम का मतलब यहां पे ये है कि अगर मैं ये ट्राई कैच नहीं लिखूंगा तो वेलकम प्रिंट करेगा क्या? चेक करो. अब मैंने ट्राई कैच हटा दिया, ये वेलकम प्रिंट करेगा क्या? चेक करो. देखो, ध्यान से देखो और बताओ, ये वेलकम प्रिंट कर रहा है? क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? बिकॉज लाइन नंबर 7 application throws exception. So we need to handle now. After handling, now I am giving stack trace. See what stack trace is doing? It's giving me exact line number. That exception occurred at line 8. No worries, catch block has handled it. Handle करने के बाद further code is continuing to execute. Did you understand? समझे क्या? क्या बताया, बताओ फिर से. No, not any value in the sense. Firstly, explain what I said. Please be seated. Please be seated. That's okay. You need not stand. Please sit down. You tell me one thing. What exactly we are doing here? Tell me. Explain line by line. What am I doing at line 6? Line 7. When you divide 10 by 0, what is happening? Not error. Exception. Exception is occurring. When exception occurs, what is happening now? It'll go to which line number? It'll go to which line number? It'll go to line number 10. Correct? What is line number 10 doing? The exception that occurred, it is handling. After it is handled, what's happening? It's printing welcome. Got it? Everyone? Anyways, you keep practicing it. Don't give up. In case you're not able to get the things quickly, keep watching it again. What's happening, we'll get an idea about it. Okay? I hope this is clear now. Then it'll not throw any exception. Still it'll print welcome. If exception occurs, then only catch block will handle. No, exception is only not there. See, accident happened, then only I'll put band-aid, right? If accident does not happen, why will I put band-aid? So catch block is like putting that band-aid. But now observe, catch block, here exception did not occur, so catch block will not run. Catch block will not run. Instead it will print 2. Line 9 will run and welcome will run. But if I divide by 0, then it will print the line number of exception and welcome. That's how it is going to work. I hope this part is clear. Everyone, any doubts do you have it here now? Please tell me. Any doubts do you have it here? Please tell me. No doubts. Okay. So we are going to now continue further. One minute, hold on. Okay. Now we'll see that what again exception occurs here. So we don't handle exceptions like this. The way we handle exceptions are kind of different. At project level, we will not do it like this. We will go with a centralized exception handling mechanism. Wherever exceptions occurs in project, it will go to a particular code which can handle it. Okay? Since it's a basic approach, we are taking this as of now. Now, let's continue further. So now we have understood unexpected events are called as exception. Exceptions will halt your program execution. Exception will occur when bad user input is given. When you're dividing a number by 0, exception occurred, it will not print welcome. Correct? Then after that, we have understood to handle exception, to handle, sir, if you have 1,000 lines of code, so no, that's what I'm telling, Shivam. In project, it doesn't happen like that. I'll not write try catch at all. When we're learning Spring Boot, whatever exception occurs in your complete project, I can handle it in one class. one class can handle all your project exceptions. You need not write every code in try catch block. Yes, for now we have to begin like this. Okay, to handle exception we will use try catch block in Java. When exception occurs in try block, it will create exception object. That object's address is given to catch block. Catch block will suppress that exception and further code will continue to execute. Is this clear? Everyone, read this carefully. Read this carefully. Did you understand this? See, keeping yourself positive is very, very important. Everybody cannot be successful. 100 people might attend the course. In that 10-15 people in a batch out of 100 will be the crowd where, okay, they cannot get a job. And what happens is, when somebody cannot get a job, there's a negative impact on the people studying and they will not let you to get job. I'm telling this very clearly because they are not able to understand. And when they are not able to understand, what they will do, they will try to now manipulate others' mind. कहाँ ये successful ना हो जाए, right? So this is the era of basically troubling others when you're not successful. So ये advice बहुत important advice है. Okay, so this is all about how you protect your mind while you're studying. क्योंकि पढ़ाई अच्छे से नहीं होगी, कॉल्स आना चालू हो जाएगा. जब कॉल्स आएगा, प्रॉब्लम ऐसा होगा ना कि वो कैंडिडेट कितनी भी मेहनत डाल दे, वो क्लियर नहीं कर पाएगा because he's not working on his weakness. Whatever your weaknesses are, you have to target that working on it. It's not easy to become successful. It takes a lot of time, efforts, energy, practice. Okay, so आप पर डे 5-5 घंटा अगर दे रहे हो, किसी का प्रेजेंटेशन खराब है, किसी को बात करना नहीं आ रहा है, किसी को अप्रोच बराबर नहीं है, तो आप टाइम वेस्ट करोगे कि वो अप्रोच पे काम करोगे? क्या करना चाहिए आपको? यस, वरना आप सिर्फ माइंड में बना लो, मैं कर लूंगा, मैं कर लूंगा, ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है. दैट इज ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस. When somebody's communication is not good, you have to work aggressively on that. Work aggressively on that. Give your 100% on that. 6 hours you work on that. Why you will not improve? Correct? But if your mindset is weak, and everybody has got a mind, the focus level is weak, negativity in the mind. Correct? That negativity, that negative things in your mind, until and unless you don't leave that aside, you cannot progress. तो माइंडसेट को पॉजिटिव बनाना है. हम नेगेटिव बनेंगे तो क्या होगा मालूम है? हम हार मान लेंगे, ये मुझसे नहीं होगा. और जब मुझसे नहीं होगा, हम क्या करेंगे? हम अगर नेगेटिव है, सारी दुनिया वाइब्रेशंस पे चलती है. हम अगर पॉजिटिव इंसान के बगल में बैठेंगे तो पॉजिटिव का महसूस होगा. हम नेगेटिव इंसान के बगल में बैठेंगे तो नेगेटिव एनर्जी आने वाली है. और नो, दिस आर ऑल वाइब्रेशंस. अगर यहां से रिमोट लेके मैं दबाता हूं, प्रोजेक्टर बंद हो जाता है. चलो, दिस इज साइंस. बट इफ यू नोटिस, more than science, this is vibrations. Yes or no? Just like a human being, with which person, see, if you're in a jail, your attitude will be like that only. If you're in a temple, those vibrations will be like that only. Where you are, with whom you are, with whom you are interact. If anybody is trying to make you little bit also negative and demotivated, leave him aside. Your journey should be alone. Don't be with him. Got it now? Okay? Because changing them is a waste of time. The changes has to happen by themselves. हम उसको बदल नहीं सकते. ओके, तो बहुत फोकस्ड रहना है. इट्स अ वेरी बिग कोर्स. गॉट इट? और ऐसा डाइवर्ट माइंड करके बैठोगे, कुछ नहीं होगा. चलो, लुक एट दिस एग्जांपल. एंड आई डोंट वांट टू वेस्ट माय प्रेशियस टाइम एंड एनर्जी एजुकेटिंग यू ऑन समथिंग एल्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम द सिलेबस. मेरा टाइम भी प्रेशियस है और मैं ये चीजों में कभी फालतू चीजों में बात करता नहीं हूं. आज मैंने 5 मिनट बात कर दी है, इसके बाद मैं बात नहीं करूंगा. यू आर स्मार्ट इनफ, यू नो व्हाट टू डू. गॉट इट? यस? ओके, नाउ ऑब्जर्व. What will happen at this line number 3553? What will happen at line number 3553? Exception will occur. Which line it will go to? 3555. Then after that, what it will print? If I remove catch block and try block, will it print welcome? Very good. Now we have types of exceptions that occurs in Java. There are types of exceptions that occurs in Java. Now, what are the types of exceptions we have got? See here, the types of exceptions that we have got, types of exception that we have got, one is called as runtime exception, and the other one is called as compile time exception. Other one is called as what? Compile time exception. Yes. Now look at that. When we are now talking about compile time exception and runtime exception, what is the difference? Observe. I'm going to create here a file a.java. Then what we do? We compile this particular file. We will compile this particular file. And when you compile, what do we get here? What do we get here? A.class file. A.class file. And when you run this particular A.class file, this is called as a runtime phase. If any exception occurs during the compilation, which means when you're compiling .java to .class file, when you're compiling it, and during this compilation, if you get any exception, they're called as compile time or, very good, checked exception. Are you understanding now? And any exception that occurs at runtime are called as runtime exceptions or unchecked exception. Are you understanding now? Yes. So here, observe now, we have checked and unchecked exception. We have checked and what? Unchecked exception. Is this clear, everyone now? Everybody got it? So how many types of exceptions we have? What are the two types? Compile time and runtime. Now we need to understand this compile time and runtime exception in depth manner, and we should prepare a class hierarchy. Exception class hierarchy, which is again an interview question. What are checked exception, unchecked exception? Then they'll ask you, give me exception class hierarchy, meaning which is the parent class, child class. Give me that class hierarchy structure. They will be asking you this. Fine. So we have a particular diagram for it, the class hierarchy. I think here somewhere I put the diagram. Exception. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Hold on, let's see. I'll have to check that. Somewhere here we have put the diagram. This one. No, not this one. This one. Right? Okay. So we'll have to study this now, but in a detailed and depth manner. So this is going to be a little boring since it's a theory part and not practical. But we will take this freshly, as even I've got some important work today and I'll have to leave little in hurry. We will catch up tomorrow and we'll take this particular part of the lecture. Is this clear? Keep practicing, keep learning, and do not waste a single minute of yours. If you want to be successful, okay, then every single minute counts. Alright, and this phase of your life you will not get again, because learning, whatever time you have got now after joining company, you cannot commit so much of time sitting in one place and studying. You'll all be held up with your busy life. So whatever time you can give now to excel, prepare, learn, work, lot of work we have to do, not an easy journey, very difficult journey, right? And very difficult is keeping mind focused, very difficult is to do the same work regularly. सबसे ज्यादा कठिन क्या होता है मालूम है? एक ही काम को लगातार करना. एंड वन हु डज दैट वो सक्सेसफुल हो जाएगा. एंड एक ही काम को अगर कोई लगातार नहीं कर पा रहा है, मतलब हिज माइंड इज नॉट बैलेंस्ड, हिज माइंड इज नॉट balanced. He has to balance his mind. He has lost the balance of mind. ओके तो अपना स्केड्यूल बनाओ, कैलेंडर बनाओ, एवरीवन prepare a calendar that after the class I'm going to take 1 hour break, then from then I'm going to study, I'll prepare notes, then again a break, again study, go for a walk and protect your mind. It has to be protected like हम एक सीड डालते मट्टी में, जब हम सीड डालते इमेजिन करो पानी डाला, पेड़ उगने लगा, उसके बाद क्या होगा, भेड़ बकरी आके खाना चालू कर देगी, तो आपने जो भी मेहनत डाली चली गई, यस और नो? अगर वो सीड डालने के बाद अगर मैं एक फेंस डालूंगा तो क्या होगा, पेड़ उगते जाएगा उगते जाएगा उगते जाएगा, कोई डिस्टर्ब कर पाएगा नहीं ना? दैट इज व्हाट यू टू डू विथ योर ब्रेन. आपको ब्रेन के इर्द गिर्द एक फेंस बनाना है, और वो फेंस जो भी नेगेटिव एनर्जी आपके माइंड में डालता है कि तुम जॉब नहीं ले सकते हो, तुम वीक हो, तुमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, तुम गलत कर रहे हो, आपका माइंड ऑटोमेटिकली फोकस्ड हो जाएगा. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग नाउ? यू हैव टू प्रोटेक्ट योर माइंड, बिकॉज सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज यही होने वाला है कोर्स में. जिसने माइंड को प्रोटेक्ट कर लिया, अपने आप को पॉजिटिव बोलते गया, मैं कर लूंगा, एंड तक मैं बैठ के प्रिपेयर कर लूंगा, मैं पढ़ लूंगा, मैं प्रिपेयर कर लूंगा. एंड one fellow taking 1 hour, another fellow taking 6 hours, it's okay, we are not in race. यहाँ पे कोई मेडल नहीं मिलने वाला है कि एक प्रोग्राम को 1 घंटे में सीख रहा है तो मैं 6 घंटे में सीख रहा हूं, मैं वीक हूं. स्टॉप कंपेयरिंग योरसेल्फ विद अदर्स. कंपैरिजन नहीं करना है, समझे क्या? राइट? You should not compare yourself with others, and neither take knowledge from that person sitting in the class because he's having half knowledge. अगर उसको उतना नॉलेज है तो क्लास में बैठ क्यों रहा है? कंपनी में जाओ, मेरे क्लास में क्यों बैठे हो? यस और नो? अगर आपको पूरा ज्ञान है तो यहां मेरे क्लास में बैठ के बाकी को ज्ञान क्यों बांट रहे हो? आप बाहर जाओ, कंपनी में इंटरव्यू क्रैक करो, जॉब ले लो. आप यहां पे इसीलिए बैठे हो कि जॉब नहीं है. यस और नो? यस और नो? तो आपको वो सारी चीजें ध्यान रखना है, अपना खुद का एक रोड मैप बनाना है और प्रैक्टिस करना है. हो पाएगा? यस? पूरा फोकस्ड. और तब माइंड ऐसा बनाना है कि मैं माइंड में एक भी वर्ड कहीं से कुछ भी दिमाग में आने नहीं दूंगा. जब मैं सर की क्लास ले रहा हूं, सिर्फ मैं इतना ध्यान रखूंगा कि हर एक वर्ड समझ आ रहा है क्या. माइंड भटकेगा, फिर आपको फोकस लाना है सिलेबस में, फिर माइंड भटकेगा, फिर तुरंत कितना जल्द आप सिलेबस के ऊपर फोकस लाते हो, दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. सभी का माइंड भटकता रहेगा, बट जैसे ही माइंड भटका फिर सिलेबस पे ध्यान, विद इन फ्रैक्शन ऑफ सेकेंड यू टू कम बैक अगेन, क्योंकि माइंड में कितनी सारी चीजें चलती रहेगी. यस? बहुत सारी चीजें चलती रहेगी कि मतलब यहाँ पे क्लास ले रहे हो, पीजी में खाना खत्म हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे क्लास ले रहे हो, अरे मेरे कपड़े धोने बाकी है, पीजी में कपड़े धो के सुखाना है. राइट? फिर खाना मतलब कुछ कर रहे, कुछ और कुछ चल रहा है, ये सब चल रहा होगा आपके, फिर जॉब लेना है. यस और नो? करेक्ट. अब जैसे क्लास खत्म होगा, अब मैं क्या करूंगा इसके बाद, तो ये सारी चीजें चलती रहेगी. बट आपको समझना है, व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग हियर, जितना माइंड को स्थिर रखोगे बेनिफिट्स उतना ज्यादा मिलेगा.